I will describe in detail the method of performing the Vigyan Bhairav Granth Part 2, Section 1, which is derived from the concept of the Plutoc pronunciation of pranava Om, verse 2, Karika 39, a thorough analysis of the verses of Nad, Shabda Brahma, and Mantra Sadhana. I want you to establish within yourself a deep cosmic and meditative presence right now. Imagine Lord Shiva himself, seated in supreme tranquility, preparing to impart the absolute wisdom of the universe to Mother Shakti. You see, this isn't merely an explanation of a text, it's a gateway. We are stepping into an eternal conversation between the Creator and the cosmic energy itself. We're examining the precise method of engaging with this profound scripture. This entire section is completely devoted to the concept of the Pluta. Now, what is the Pluta? It is the elongated, deliberately stretched pronunciation of pranava, which is the sacred syllable Om. Centered around Karika 39, we are going to conduct a thorough, unwavering analysis of the verses concerning Nad, the primordial cosmic sound known as Shabda Brahma, and the highly disciplined practice of mantra sadhana. Section 1. The pronunciation of pranava. We begin our esoteric journey here by examining the actual physical mechanics and the profound spiritual depths of chanting this primal sound. Because if you really want to understand the universe, you first have to understand the vibration that birthed it. The scripture outlines several distinct root sounds that form the absolute foundation of our mantra sadhana. It identifies the Vedic pranav, which is Om, the Shiva pranav, which is Hum, and the Maya pranav, which is Harim. The deep commentary on this practice details that the mantra Om is to be chanted out loud 3 times, just an ordinary, steady chant. Om. Om, Om. But it's on the 4th recitation that everything changes. That is when the practitioner must apply the Pluta, extending and stretching the sound to merge into total, unbroken peace. By categorizing these sacred sounds, we can clearly distinguish their tantric applications from their ultimate philosophical meaning. Think about it. Whether you are focusing on the unstruck inner sound of Anahata Nad, the sacred prana of Om, just a single isolated character, or a complex Pinda mantra like Soam, the ultimate goal is exactly the same. The Tantric method utilizes the physical vibration of these specific sounds to forcefully arrest your wandering mind. It pulls the soul out of physical distraction and drops it directly into pure, undifferentiated consciousness. Section 2. Analyzing Karika 39. Let's deeply analyze this specific verse, because this single verse holds the ultimate secret to dissolving the mind through the absolute mastery of sound. Listen to the original Sanskrit verse. Pranavadu sumacharat, plutante shunya bhavanat, shunyaya paraya shaktya, shunyatameti bhairavi. The literal translation reveals a truly magnificent truth. O Bhairavi, by chanting pranava to its Pluta, its elongated end, and by intensely meditating on the void that follows, the practitioner, guided by the supreme energy, attains the ultimate state of Bhairav. It is a literal journey from sound to fading sound, and finally to complete and total emptiness. So, the absolutely crucial part here is the precise semantic fragmentation of this flat pronunciation. It's not just one continuous noise, it's a sequential internal journey. First, you begin with the Hresva, the short, gross, audible sound. As you extend it, it thins out into the Ardhamatra, the half-syllable. That half-syllable then concentrates into the Bindu, a singular, focused point of vibration. This point then stretches into Nad, a subtle internal resonance you can barely hear. As the Nad fades, you enter Shunya, the void. And from that void, you awaken into Para, the supreme beyond. The duality of how this is practiced is fascinating. While religious traditions revere this sound as God himself, treating it as an object of pure devotion and worship, the tantric importance is radically practical. Tantric practice utilizes this elongated chant as a piece of energetic technology. It is a precise tool used to forcibly quiet the endless fluctuations of the mind. It literally burns away your scattered thoughts through the friction of focused vibration. Spiritually speaking, this disciplined practice purifies the soul, stripping away layers of accumulated karmic debris. Philosophically, however, it represents something far more vast. It represents the absolute dissolution of the individual ego into the undifferentiated cosmic reality. When you do this, you are not just praying, you are systematically dismantling the entire illusion of your separate self. Section 3. Stages of Shabda Brahma. We really need to understand how to navigate the internal evolution of this cosmic sound as it moves from the gross physical realm into the realm of pure consciousness. As detailed in the profound commentaries of our text, pranava actually consists of 3 distinct letters: akar, ukar, and makar. These represent the entirety of physical creation: generation, organization, and destruction. They also represent the waking, dreaming, and sleeping states of the mind. But to realize the ultimate truth, these 3 states must be entirely transcended so you can reach the unmanifested 4th state, which is known as turiya. The complete method demands absolute focus. First, you physically chant the sound A-U-M. Second, you let it taper, holding on to that subtle half-syllable, the ardhamatra. Third, you focus that feeding vibration into a singular point, the bindu. Fourth, you completely cease physical vocalization and listen only to the nod, the internal vibration echoing in your mind. And finally, you release even that, dropping completely into shunya, the vast void. But before anyone can truly master the Pluta chant of Karika 39, they really must understand the preceding verse, Karika 38. Anahare patrakane wagnashabde saredhrute. This describes the anahata nod. This is an unstruck, uninterrupted inner sound. The practitioner has to learn to focus on this internal resonance, which flows forcefully and continuously inside you, much like a rushing river. Tapping into that river is what ultimately leads one to the Supreme Brahman. Section 4. Piercing the eyebrow chakra. To anchor this profound cosmic sound, you can't rely on an unprepared body. You must first prepare the physical vessel by piercing the bru, the eyebrow chakra. Verses 36 and 37 provide the precise instruction for this. The method dictates closing the physical senses, the ears, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, using your fingers. By completely blocking out the external world, you force the vital energy, the prana, upward. You pierce the physical and subtle chakras, merging your wandering mind into a singular, radiant point of light, the bindu, resting exactly between your eyebrows. When you study the internal geography of the spiritual body, you see why this is so critical. By stabilizing your consciousness in this specific eyebrow chakra, you are doing way more than just concentrating. You are physically creating the precise, high-frequency internal environment required for the chanting of pranava to actually be effective. Your physical body literally becomes a perfectly tuned instrument for the cosmic sound. The practical significance here is immense. Without this deliberate piercing of the eyebrow chakra and your focused concentration on the bindu, your elongated Pluta chant is just going to scatter. The sound waves will dissipate into worldly thoughts and everyday daydreams. Instead of acting as the laser-focused beam required to lead you to spiritual liberation, you have to anchor the mind first. Then you chant. Section 5. The Pluta sound waves. Having anchored the mind, let's now witness the mechanics of the Pluta pronunciation itself. This is the great secret of extending the sacred syllable to touch the infinite. The Pluta method is all about the careful, deliberate lengthening of the chant. It refers to a continuous, elongated pronunciation lasting 3 full matras, or measures of time. Here, the gross audible sound is deliberately and slowly stretched out. You chant Om, and you stretch that M sound until it becomes exceedingly thin. It turns from a physical vibration into a subtle, almost imperceptible wave that bridges directly into the 4th state, the turiya. As the sound waves of the Plut Rahasya of pranava stretch out further and further, they thin out into absolute nothingness. The sound of the chanting fades entirely, and what is left behind is shunya. It is an absolute breathless reality. I want you to just imagine that profound silence right now, the total cessation of all vibration. Section 6. Merging into the void. It is within this resulting emptiness, this profound space that blossoms immediately following the final sound wave, that true cosmic realization actually occurs. According to the deep wisdom of Karika 39, the process is absolute and guaranteed. By meditating precisely and unwaveringly on this specific void that follows the you are guided by Shakti, the supreme energy. You sequentially dissolve. You leave the end of sound. You enter the shunya. You move into the para, the great beyond. And ultimately, you attain Param Bhairavata, which is the exact state of Shiva himself. This reveals the ultimate paradox of mantra sadhana. Shabda, the sound, represents the magnificent, beautiful illusion of the created universe. We need it. It is necessary to guide us inward. But it is only in the total, profound absence of that sound, the shunya, the eternal silence, that the true, unchanging nature of reality is finally revealed to you. As we conclude this explainer of the Vigyan Bhairav Granth, I want to leave you with a profound inquiry. We have traced the journey of the cosmic sound from its gross physical birth to its ultimate dissolution. The entire path is laid out before you in these ancient verses. So, ask yourself right now, are you ready to allow the chaotic sound of your own existence to stretch, fade, and finally dissolve into that eternal, profound silence of Bhairav?